Welcome back to Lambda Bible Studies, and we are live with a big panel, a panel that hasn't been seen for, I want to say, a year and a half. We've got 5 actual people, and this is really a celebration of creativity. We've been running in the Discord a competition. Is it a competition? No, it's a festival.
Yeah.
It's a festival with a winner. Actually, I don't know if we're going to bother figuring out a winner. We just want to go through during this stream all the amazing people in the community and the things that they've contributed that are inspired by. We gave 3 options originally, right? 3 options of Bible passages to come up with a creative response to. We've got songs, we've got physical objects that have been crafted, we've got paintings and poems, and not only in quantity but quality. I've been absolutely blown away with what everybody has done. Before we get started, I will go around the panel in a second and let everyone introduce themselves. But I want to take the opportunity up top for people who haven't seen the stream that I did a couple of days ago on my other channel. Christmas is approaching, and you might be thinking, if only there was a fun activity and some new fun thing that I could do with my friends or family over the holidays. Well, good news. I bring you glad tidings of great joy. Take a watch of this, everybody.
Looking for a game that will turn those dull moments into wholesome friendship fun? Yes? I'm throwing down the gauntlet to Border.
Humans can't exist without experience.
The Gauntlet is a speaking game where you put forward the best arguments to some of life's trickiest questions.
It is acceptable to talk during movies at home.
Absolutely.
That's a toughie. You might have the gift of the gab, but it's the king who decides who wins. It's the king who decides who wins. Work with your teammates to see if the honorable loyalists will hold firm, or if the conniving conspirators will have the day.
Because it's the only way that we then.
Gauntlet, the board game. Only $39.99. Email gauntlettheboardgame@gmail.com.
There we go. Thank you very much. Let's go around the panel then, and let's start with Friedrich Nietzsche, who's joined us from beyond the grave. So Friedrich, how do you do?
Yeah, I am doing very good. Yeah, I just want to say this is the biggest stream. I think it's the biggest stream that's ever existed.
I mean,
and I'm grateful to.
So far it's not, because we've only got 3 people watching us at the moment.
Oh no, I mean in terms of
that will explode. We'll have a lot more people.
Include us or not?
I've also just posted it to the Discord and to Twitter and such. So people roll into these things. It's like a ball rolling down a hill, amassing viewers. So thank you for joining us. By the way, everybody on the stream is bringing their own contributions, but we're also going to be reviewing other things from the Discord. So if you're enjoying what's going on here, consider joining the Discord. There's a link in the description. Next, Beck Bifazza, how are you doing?
Doing well, feeling a bit tired. It was a very late night finishing off the touches of my composition and a very early morning calling in. So we'll see how 4 hours goes.
Many of us have been finishing our contributions last minute, but not all of us have had to wake up at crack of dawn to
4 hours
this
later.
live
Yeah.
stream. So
Okay,
good
it's
effort.
It's the pain of creativity, right?
exactly. Yeah.
So
And,
where are you calling from, Beck?
From Australia, Brisbane.
Oh, okay. So it is morning for you.
Well across the sea. Yep. Yes, it's
Exciting.
6:30 or 6:50 at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
For those of us who buy into this round Earth concept, then
Okay.
Max,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. I'm Max. I'm a music producer and songwriter, and I made a piece with Luke. We wrote and recorded a song
Yeah.
together. And
We
recorded the
we met
bridge
fairly
vocals earlier today.
fairly recently at church, and I
we
thought,
did.
right, I'm gonna rope Max into my my harebrained scheme here.
Like a true
Yeah.
king.
So I'm excited to share what we've come up with. And last but by no means least, Moho. Matt, how are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm just a simple Welsh postman, and I'm grateful to be here.
Matt, may I say, you are one of the most significant and important characters on the weekend retreat. You've been a couple of times, and you
Well-
always light up the whole place.
That's not going to do my ego any favors, Luke.
I like to take a simple Welsh postman and build him up, you know.
Oh, thank you. No, yeah, I've been to all of your retreats, and God willing, I'll be coming to the rest. Like
Amazing.
cracking characters, and I'd highly recommend
Yeah.
it to people.
I got a message from some of the Scandi guys because they were ordering a copy of the board game, and they said that they're also planning to come again next
Oh,
year.
right.
So
Oh,
there's
lovely.
this awesome little community kind of building up around the retreats, and it's just very heartwarming and very exciting. And you know, to God be the glory. He's the one who's giving us all these good things to enjoy together. So, yes, I reckon. What order should we do this in? Because we've got the things from the Discord to review, and then we've also got the stuff. I think we should maybe go around the panel and start with contributions from those people present amongst us, and then we'll scroll through the Discord and see other amazing stuff that's been submitted over the last month or so.
Should we have a read through the prompts?
Yes, good idea. Okay, let's share. Oh, I'm in the wrong channel. I was like, this doesn't look familiar. The art gallery. For people who aren't familiar, by the way, I've themed the Discord around like a castle. So there's the art gallery is in the keep, along with other exciting channels like the Synod that people might not be aware of. That's a highly top secret channel that
Ooh.
I'm certainly not clicking on that because there's all kinds of things going on in there.
Gossip channel.
Yeah, look at all this creative activity that's been going on. I love it.
On my end, I can't see it move. I don't know if it's the
Yeah, it's
same for
frozen.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, how odd. Oh, I see the problem.
On your other screen?
Yeah, I
Here we
was scrolling up the wrong one. Here we are. Yes. So, and we should mention this. This was the concept of this idea. It was Beck kind of incepted the idea in my brain. So, credit to you for kicking this thing off. But yes, I said as of the 17th. Okay, it was actually October. We've all had ages to do this. No excuses. And yet, most of us did all the work in the last couple of days. I'm declaring the first ever Lambda Creative Festival. So there were three options. A love song option based on the Song of Songs. So there's this text from chapter 8 of Song of Songs. Then there was this option, something more lamenting and emotive from Psalm 13. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? And then the Beatitudes, Matthew 5. And the challenge was to pick one of these and come up with some kind of creative response to it. Yeah. Any other context, or should we get straight into it?
Crack in,
I tell you what. Why don't we go around the panel in the same order that I introduced you guys? So, especially because Philip, I think yours might have been the first of the panel to come in with a response.
Yeah,
Is
I think
that true?
I
So
would
actually, if I scroll down until I find yours, how about that? Here we are. Now, anybody who's familiar with either your channel or the streams that we've done together will have a knowledge and an affection to your art style. Would you like to introduce this piece?
Yes, I call it accidentally everything I make turns into a Lord of the Rings reference.
Yeah, I was like, it's very Lord of the Rings vibes. I love it.
Yeah, so
It's true, but that's no bad thing.
It's got a Quentin Blake kind of style to it. Very nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks. Yeah. Well, I was definitely going for that on purpose. But what happened was, if I can expand on it a bit, or explain a bit what's going on here.
Yeah.
So as one can tell, it's a professional piece of. I got some watercolor pens from a friend and some canvas. So this was my attempt of using them. It's not the first time I've done watercolors, but it was the first time I've used these pens. So that's what culminated in this. And it was supposed to be Jesus speaking about, the poor in spirits with reference to children. That's why there's a child there as well. But in retrospect, I realized it just looks like Aragorn and a hobbit or something. So it's really not supposed to be what happens. But I guess I Europeanized the clothing a bit, and then that's what happened.
Blessed are the short, for they will be tall. Is that the?
That's the apocryphal one, yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I love it. I love
And
the
what-
shadowing. It looks really natural.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And on the
I like-
coat as well. It's
I
very
can't help
moody.
but ask about this detail.
Yeah, that's my
What's-
my
What is this shape? I'm sure you've got a deep reasoning for this shape.
there are many levels.
Okay. You're thinking, do we have 3 hours to
One hour per
unpack?
level. Yeah. No, but I can explain it's like a Cairo at the middle, but at the same time I've turned it into a PW for my initials.
Mhm.
And it also pictorially represents a mountain with a giant tree growing on it. in some ways.
That's cool.
So yeah.
What are the flat lines on the right-hand side of the W for?
That's just stylistic. That's
The Cairo, that's the thing which is like a P with the cross through it. Is that I've seen this in like Anglican churches.
yeah, exactly. That's it's the first two letters of the word Christ in Greek.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
Oh, that's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I've heard about
And it's actually kind of mirrored by this tree in the background. I don't know if that was
that.
deliberate or
Yeah,
subconscious, but
that's a good point.
yeah.
So everything I do is purely calculation.
It's also
Yeah,
mirrored
these-
by the lines on his coat, right? On the
Oh, yeah.
on Jesus' coat,
Yeah.
and his head is
Yeah.
the top
And-
of the little
and-
P.
In the way the signature is mirrored by the tree or mirrors the tree, you've also got the child standing in front of Jesus.
Hey, very good.
Yes. Standing. Yes. Yeah, a four.
Mm.
And Jesus, of course, says we have to come to him like children, right?
Exactly, yeah.
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 No, you
Not on the
captured
basis of our works. Yeah.
You captured the protective feeling really well. I feel.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing with so few lines that it's very emotive,
Very warm.
and this guy is very, the Jesus figure is very strong, but also very tender and gentle, which I think is true of Jesus.
Mm.
I think gentle is the only adjective that Jesus attributes to himself. In fact, that God attributes to himself. Is that right? I think all the other adjectives are given to him by other people, but the only reported speech where God says, I am, and then gives an adjective is gentle.
How about jealous? He says, I
am a jealous God. Oh, yeah, you might have caught me out there. Maybe it's Jesus then. All right. Well, thank you for submitting this entry, Philip.
Very good.
Pleasure.
Yeah, very good. Beck, do you want to give an intro to yours?
Yeah, so I must say I'm not much of a lyricist, so I did try to stick to the verse words as much as possible, having to change bits and pieces here to try and rhyme it. And yeah, I wanted to try and capture that feeling of feeling like God's not by your side and that you're on your own, and how David can sort of be quite dramatic sometimes, which I love him for. And he just really gets his feelings all out there in a way that I know that throughout different periods in history, Christians have sort of strayed away from. They've been very pretend that everything's fine and never take your problems to God, you know. And David definitely doesn't do that. He definitely makes it known to God how he's feeling, and then to, of course, end on that hopeful note that his psalms always do end on, where he turns his attention back to the person he trusts in. And yeah, so I tried to capture that musically. Definitely, it's fun. I was thinking about this as a keyboard player. You often have this overinflated idea of your capacity to play every instrument in the world because we can just download the sounds from the internet. Yeah. And then you sit down and you say, oh, it's actually quite hard to play, to write a full string section. It's not just playing chords. Not as much as I just did that in the end anyway. But yeah, it was a good...
That's very relatable. Having spent most of the last year trying to write the score for this radio play that has yet to be made
Still
public.
tweaking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, it was good. It was good fun. We got there in the end.
Yeah. So your one is it? So they've got How Long and Blessed Art, one of which is yours and one of which is Matt's, and I can't remember which one's which.
How Long is mine?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try loading it up in the browser because I thought work. Okay. Good. So if I reshare that. Let me pause, because can people hear the music or is it not coming through?
No, it's being it's not censored. You know, it's being culled a bit.
Being eaten alive by StreamYard or something in between. Well, one thing I can do. Okay, I'm going to change my mic to include my computer's audio, but that will lead to feedback if anybody talks. So
you can, I think you can also upload it to StreamYard. So if you look under banners or something like that directly, and then it might
the banners
or banners or something. There's something where you can maybe brand where you can like upload your own custom intros and and
background music.
Well.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Oh yes, okay, great. Add music. I'm glad I brought you on as my technical advisor. Yeah,
that's my name.
While I'm just fiddling with this, is there anything else, Beck, that you learned as you went through the process, as you were either working on the lyrics, something that struck you from the text? Put you on the spot.
Let me go back to my notes app where I was sort of workshopping things. I think, yeah, it was mostly, like I said, I'm not much of a lyricist at all. It's amazing how much David's psalms do write in a way that you can just sing though. He was obviously such a creative. I would have loved, man, that would be one thing that I'd love to do when I get to heaven is like hear the songs to the music that he put them to. It'd be really cool to see. And if that's a thing. But I'm sure God's a pro singing praises person up in heaven. So.
Anybody who features as a named character in the Bible is going to have a large audience.
Surely,
for a millennium or two.
Put them in front of a crowd and just let them do their thing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I figured it out. Can we hear this? Okay, great.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, let me pause it. You can't hear anything. How about other people?
No. Nope.
I can hear it, but it may just need to be
Interesting.
louder.
So some of us can and some of us can't.
It's very John Cage, Becky.
Oh, yep.
You think this is a Emperor Has No Clothes thing where we're pretending like, oh yes, very deep, very meaningful.
We can't even hear.
Anybody in chat who can give us some more information here, that would be useful. I feel like if the viewers can hear it, we'll go ahead with this method. It's a fairly gentle start, right? It's not so loud.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to crank it too hard because it gets a bit loud with the strings.
Yeah. Well, I also
Probably
can't
not.
turn it up any louder anyway, so.
Ah.
I mean, not quickly is the answer. This gives. Well, while I'm waiting for anyone in chat to respond. Oh, okay. So actually, Dan says he can hear it. So so Max and Matt, I reckon, turn up your speakers as loud as you can, maybe. And I'll go back to the start if I can figure out how.
Listen to mine.
We'll keep going from here.
Forever for a man is just a blip in time. Forgot how long will you hide your face beyond? Turn away my anguish and my suffering. Ignore how long must I wrestle with my thoughts? Day to day, my mind replays a false and untoward. How long will my enemies afford these never-ending victories against my rusted sword? Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. My enemies declaring, look how he has stole her breath. My foes will rejoice as I fall into their depths. But I cry out to you, my God, don't leave me in my death. But I'll trust in your unfailing love, for He is a good, good Father and friend. So I'll wait for you, my Lord, planted by the waterway you said I'd be restored. So I'll wait, meditating on your word, filling up the silence with my praise to you.
Wow.
Wow.
That's absolutely stunning. Incredible. Oh, wait. It's not finished. Or is it looping?
It was that good.
Oh, I
So
muted
we're
everybody, by the way, so make
It's
sure you're
finished.
unmuted.
Probably rather not suffer that again.
I want to listen to it again straight away. I don't know about everybody else, but
I think I missed the first half because I wasn't. I was on the Safari version of the app on my phone, whereas I went onto the actual app. I could hear it after I changed over. So
We'll have to send it to you later. You can listen
yeah,
to it.
but like it
well,
sounds
I
great.
was wondering if maybe we
Really
should just
emotional.
upload all of the songs as a separate upload, so people can just listen, or maybe a separate. I don't know. I haven't really thought that through. But yeah, let's discuss that, because I mean, incredible production, incredible. You were talking about the orchestration, the string writing, the arrangement is, I think, just incredible. But also, what I really loved was the way that you underscored little things in the text. You would then harmonically reflect it. I'm sure this was all carefully sculpted, but there were certain lines where I just thought, wow, the way that the chords here are working with the lyric that we're hearing is like a hand and a glove.
Mm. Yeah, it's that whole thing of like, you try not to be too cheesy with your minor versus major, but
Yeah.
it's just it's something I always think about. It's so amazing how, and I suppose this is in Western culture. You have other cultures who minor scales represent like positive things, which
Huh.
is so interesting.
Yeah.
In their scales and things, but at least in the West, for us, it's just amazing how like chordal choices can invoke a feeling even without the words yet.
Mhm.
I do love playing around with that, but yeah, I did try to sort of emphasize the shift in tone.
Mm.
Well, I was happily surprised, I guess, by the fact that it wasn't like cheesy, because as someone who's maybe less in touch with his emotions, that it gets on my nerves pretty quickly when maybe it's also just a particular thing with worship music, which in and of itself I don't have a problem with, but I think it can quickly become almost like, to me anyway, and to my like sound palette, something that's like so superficial or cheesy in a way that it feels like they're not taking the text seriously. But I actually thought you did a very good job of keeping it grounded in a way, like the sound, especially, and yeah, the strings, that progression you have. I don't know if it's halfway through or maybe it's close to the end, this kind of like bridge. That got me. That got me.
Oh, thank you.
A buddy of mine says that sometimes worship music can turn into Jesus is my boyfriend territory. Like, yeah, very much
What's that
not.
song? Heaven meets earth like a sloppy wet kiss. Is a
Remember that song,
famously bad line.
No, lovely voice
Your-
though, soaring voice
Yeah.
that kind of punctures
Yeah.
through the mix. Really, really impressive.
I didn't think
Yeah.
the emotion really came through in your vocals too. Like it
Mm.
sounds like, even just with the voice, even without even hearing the lyrics, you can really feel the emotion and how you were singing. So yeah, really, really great performance.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, started really soft and controlled, and then a few moments you just kind of hit another register at just the right point in the song. So yeah, fantastic work.
It's sort of funny singing a song like with lyrics like that, because of course David was going through far worse things than I've ever been through in my life. But yeah, you can still sort of draw out. It just sometimes it just felt like I don't know if I've been through enough to really talk about my enemies defeating me, and but I'm 27. We'll give it a few more years. We'll see how it goes.
You can imagine, yeah, being David.
Did you say your rusty soul in the song?
Rusty sword. So I was trying to find a way to sort of like imagery of like a battle that I'm just getting so tired of fighting, or I've been fighting for so long that like my sword's rusting.
That's cool.
And then the other one that I slipped in the I'll wait bit, that sort of the response bit at the end was I think it's Psalm 1, where it talks about the person that's like a tree planted by streams of water, which It's fruit in its season, whose leaf does not wither. So I love that verse.
So good. I think we should listen to all of the songs again at the end of the stream, at least. Just hearing it once doesn't feel like doing it justice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's like hearing a song multiple times, you just get new things appear each time that you may have missed the first time. So that's the really powerful thing about music. Like you can listen to a song you've heard hundreds of times and still kind of get something new from it, can't you?
Yeah. I just tried to upload yours, Matt, to StreamYard, and it's complaining because the file size is too big. So what I propose we do
All right.
is listen to mine
MP3
next.
bounce it if you want.
Yes, maybe if you could rebounce it as an MP3 and send that over to me.
I bounce as a WAV, Luke, which might be a bit too big.
So we're going to have the same problem.
Wow.
Can you also?
We'll try it.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
see if it works or not.
Just try it. All right.
Well, mine's like 100
There's nothing that viewers like more than hearing people
Talk about file size.
talking. No, I've got it as an MP3, haven't I, from you?
I uploaded it on the WAV, but maybe there's an MP3.
Oh, there's a download MP3 button here. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, because so I think Disco automatically converts into MP3, gives you the option to download.
Well, in this case, providentially so.
Amazing, fantastic.
Okay. Right. I'll hit play on ours, and in the meanwhile, Matt, you can be retranscoding. How's that sound?
I'm done. I just need to send it to you.
Perfect. Good. I'm excited for this, Max, because I haven't heard this version of it yet. So
it doesn't sound much different to what we've heard before.
Okay. Great.
I haven't done too much crazy stuff to it.
Okay. Here we go.
Which prompt did you
We did spoilers. Matt and us, we all did Beatitudes, and Philip did Beatitudes as well. So we all took the road more traveled, which has made all the difference.
Ours is the kingdom of the sky. You are the King, the Lord Most High. You give us purity of heart, so we can be a light in the dark. We are a city on a hill, shining bright to show your will. When feeling beaten and oppressed, through everything we are blessed. You drive out our doubt, you free us from fear, like a fountain in the drought. Your presence is here when we are hungry for righteousness, when we are broken. Lord, we are blessed, longing for comfort, desperate for rest, looking for rescue. Lord, we are blessed. When we are ridiculed and blamed for the sake of your great name, you say, take up your cross and follow me. Begin to live eternally. You drive out our doubt, you free us from fear, like a fountain in the drought. Your presence
we go. I guess it just plays out instrumental from then on, is that right, Mike? Oh, you're on mute.
And maybe like a guitar solo part, like a at some point, maybe to end.
Banger, certified banger.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Very good.
That's been just stuck in my head non-stop since we. So is it fair to say, Max, that we was pretty much 50-50 on the songwriting,
Yeah,
and
basically,
100% your production work,
Well, you sung, so I guess it's
and
half
100%
half.
my singing. That's
Yeah,
true. So
yeah.
there you go.
So in that sense, it's a pretty even collaboration.
Pretty
yeah.
even collab. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's been
vocals
really
from
fun
both
working with
of them.
you.
Yeah,
I gotta
great.
say, Max, you really know what you're doing, man, with music production. That's
No, thank you.
yeah, I can't do that. That's brilliant.
Could hear
Yeah,
the double
and-
vocal
Thank you very much.
tapping and all the bits and pieces.
Yeah, double vocal. But it's not a perfectly finished track yet. Still, maybe we can add some things here and there to. bring
Yeah,
it
we-
to the next level maybe, but
We
yeah.
kind of just about scrapped together, a finished song in time, but
Yeah, we
Yeah,
recorded
we'll
the
probably-
bridge vocals like literally 5 hours ago.
yeah, exactly.
So
Um,
yeah,
but Max has done an awesome job, and I was going to say, Max, you've been doing pop production for a while, but you're only fairly new to church. Is that fair to say?
yeah. I went to church for the first time in August, and I got baptized a month ago actually. So
Oh, amazing.
very
Yeah,
new to the
praise
journey of following Christ. But yeah, so only recently been starting to write more worship type music about God and Jesus. So yeah, it's a bit of a new thing for me. So and Luke's been
Yeah.
so amazing to be able to talk to me about different passages in the Bible and sort of working through the Beatitudes together. I think I had a few questions about it because to me it felt a bit like being poor is great and being hungry is great, all these bad things. And I think
Yeah.
you put some context to help me out with that quite a bit, Luke. So yeah,
Great. Yeah. Well, you had some great questions, and it helped me
Yeah.
think about it harder as well. So this has been a very fruitful collaboration, regardless of the fact that we also came out with a certified banger. I think was your exact words, Matt.
Certified.
Thank you, Matt.
Very catchy. You've done a really good job on melody writing. That's a whole skill in itself. Is like writing stuff that's memorable.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Yeah,
when you can do
Max
that.
definitely helped out on that front. He's got a real talent for pop production, but also I think pop song construction, and it's fun to go down that route with this song. I thought worked really well.
Lots of different sections too. I was really impressed at like how many times it like switched up to like a new sort of thing, but still in the theme of the song. That's hard to do. Like it's so easy to just do the same thing throughout the whole song.
Yeah. Well, thank
we
you.
have to post the lyrics so that we can read through them properly because it sounded like some great stuff in there.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah.
I do think we should publish these songs maybe as separate videos on the channel, and then we can put lyrics in the description or something.
Yeah, can we put it on Spotify at some point, maybe,
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do a yeah. Okay. Anyway, we'll figure out what to do with the song in January, probably, given how busy December is looking at right now. Yeah, but we've got all sorts of ideas for little extra additions to add to it. Great. Have you sent me a MP3, Matt?
Yeah, hopefully
Did you send it
that's
on
more
Discord?
usable for you. Yes,
Yeah,
a direct
sorry, I
message
should've
is on
been-
Discord.
I should have been downloading it before now, but I will grab it at this moment. While I'm grabbing it, do you want to give us an introduction for the song?
Sure, it's a bit more indulgent than other people's. It's 6 minutes long. I'm really sorry.
Well,
yeah, we can't help it. It's like if Muse were Christian and were autistic.
Oh wow,
I'm excited.
that sounds incredible.
And it's about the Sermon on the Mount. It's funny. It's funny hearing basically the same lyrics in your song, like.
Yeah, it's like we were both drawing from a common source.
Yeah.
Q, we might call it.
But the Q document, yeah. No, just how different the contexts are, you know.
Yeah.
As in versus mine, you know. Same words, completely different contexts.
Did you draw from any other verses as well and work them in, or mostly just stayed on?
No, to be honest, it's more or less a just literalist approach to Matthew 5. To that. Is it 5:2? I'm still not very good at verse numbers and stuff. Yes, it's just that slightly paraphrased, to be honest.
Yeah. There is a whole school of thought that we should only sing songs that are direct quotes from the Bible. So there'd be a lot of people nodding sagely at this approach that you've gone for, saying, yes, this is the way.
Interesting.
But you did say in a previous stream that we shouldn't speak as if we are Jesus. And I've done that for every chorus in this.
Well, I'd probably I'd probably give maybe a more nuanced. I think. Let's not get into it. Right.
That's another stream.
Everyone ready? Here we go.
That was amazing.
Very good. Oh,
Wow, yeah.
hang on. It's restarted again.
Again.
I'd be up for listening to it
That's
again.
well spent.
no,
Yeah, I got no problems spending my time listening to that.
Wow.
Well, thanks for listening.
That was
Oh,
awesome.
so good.
Mm.
I
a
do
bit
see
sad
what you
that it
mean
was-
about the Muse references. That was very Muse, but the first thing I thought of was prog rock, actually, and I mean that as the highest of compliments. Just the way it takes you harmonically to all these like surprising and interesting places.
Well, that language, that kind of harmonic language, does come from Muse, and they stole it from like
Oh, there you go.
like Liszt and Rachmaninoff, didn't they? So
Mm.
you know,
There you go.
so much of the muchness.
Yeah, that guitar arpeggio is very interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Can you
It
pick it up?
Yeah, the little diminished kind of gling, 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 gling.
Yeah.
Really good.
Is that you playing guitar, Matt?
That's me.
Amazing.
Wow, really good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
It really does feel like listening through that song is being taken on a whole odyssey or a journey. I mean,
Mhm.
you said 6 minutes is indulgent. I can't decide whether it felt like it went by in a flash, or if I feel like I've watched a full 90-minute movie. You know,
Yes,
it's both at once in the best way.
totally. Yeah.
You need sometimes having more time in the song helps draw you in more, helps just get you
Yeah.
more into that feeling, right? So yeah, I think it's really sometimes
The
that
videos at the
adds
end.
to it.
It's super cool too.
I do try and give music as much time as it needs, as in
Mm.
it tells you a lot of the time, doesn't it? So like on my channel, I've got songs which are 1 minute 43, which are really interesting musical ideas, but that's as long as it needs. You know, sometimes it doesn't need any more. It doesn't need to be.
Do you want to tell everyone the name of your channel so they can go and
Oh, it's
find
just-
it in the?
It's just my name on here, Moyle How. And it's not much on there. Nobody watches it. It's only me, really, that watches it.
That would be great if a couple of
Yeah,
people listening go and
Yeah,
subscribe.
Like, subscribe, smash the follow button.
MoYohOw.
Yeah,
Moyo on YouTube. If you search that in the search box, does yours come up as the top channel?
No,
Yeah,
there's an African doing a TEDx talk.
Okay. You're not an African doing a TEDx talk though.
No, not today.
Next question. Have you uploaded this song to your channel though? Or is
No.
it going to be uploaded?
No, I don't know what to do video-wise. Well, I do know what to do video-wise, but I need to wait until January to film it because I'm a
Sure.
postman. And at the moment, I'm doing 14-hour days. So I just
Well,
do
we
not
all
have-
appreciate it. You'll be delivering a flood of Gauntlet board games shortly. Surely.
That's better than delivering democracy, which was the line not too long ago.
Oh dear.
I also really I have to particularly call out that little melodic device where you have the note going up and down, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought was just really
Hmm.
added a whole extra layer of mystery and intrigue. And
Well,
and
that's,
you
that's
how did you come up
Muse's
with that?
production. Well, to be honest, a lot of these ideas have been in my head for a long time. You know, I've got about 100 ideas musically. They're just
Mhm.
that are like soil. You know, I just need seed to put in them sometimes to let them grow.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
luckily, you had this creative festival, and
Yeah.
I put a seed in this bit of soil, and those ornaments on the melody came out this time. I don't quite know where they came from, but
Huh.
it's new. And bear in mind,
Wow.
these bits of music have been in my head for 15 years or so. So yeah, so it's always nice. It's always nice to
Wow.
like finish something, I suppose, isn't it? And
That was the whole idea, I think, behind when I suggested something similar to Luke. Was so many times we just need like a purpose to creating something. Otherwise, the ideas just stay in our head. Because I was similar. I wrote that like it's much simpler, but the guitar riff that I'd written had been from years ago,
Huh.
and it just needed a theme.
Wow.
Or it just needed like a
So-
purpose.
just
So
need a
Matt,
push.
15 years you had that guitar part, or what? The melody, or what did you have 15 years ago?
well,
That's
it's-
quite a long time to hold on to a song.
I guess so. I don't know. It's kind of like Trigger's broom, innit? You know, I started. I've had the A minor for 15 years. I've had an A minor chord in my
Fair
head for
enough,
15
yeah.
years. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest.
That's a good. But you said it's been like in your head for a long time. So I'm just curious how that came about and how you how
So
comes
it wasn't
out.
the lyrics, was it?
No, not the lyrics at all. The lyrics is what's pushed it out of the gate this time. A lot of my things, a lot of the things I write came as a result of learning guitar in the first place and coming up with things to study a certain technique. So, like this one, for instance, I just wanted something to learn arpeggios, learn different techniques and stuff like that. So they're all fun to play as a guitarist. But yeah, I guess that's where the music comes from a lot of the time. Is the technical side of it is learning a new skill, and giving it a context.
Yeah,
No,
I
know
like
a
how the
bunch of-
physicality of the instrument changes what you play. Like on a piano, having it like that is so different to having the guitar how it is, where the strings are arranged. You just come up with completely different ideas, don't you? So
Yeah, you do. Those arpeggios in the beginning, the guitar arpeggio, the like A minor 2 and stuff. You play that on a piano, it sounds rubbish. Sounds absolutely rubbish.
Yeah,
doesn't suit it at all.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. Honestly, it's just nice to write something or to do something for other people for once.
Yeah, and I mean this as a compliment. I don't know how good it is or what it shows about me, but the first thing I thought about when it started playing was Diablo. Diablo 2.
My
Felt like
man!
I was back in the
Yes!
What's
Diablo was instrumental to my musical education. Matt Uelman, the composer for that, is a genius. Yes, I completely agree. Thanks a lot, Philip. That's made my day.
Yeah.
What's Diablo? Is that a game
Diablo.
or-
video game.
Video game.
Okay, I've never played that. I have to look up the
music,
The
the
soundtrack,
soundtrack for that
nothing
is
else.
incredible. Yeah.
No, I know a lot of Radiohead fans that would very happily listen to that, and I don't think they'd
Stop
even
making my
notice.
day.
I'm all confused,
It's all
Christian.
going to my head. And my head's only so big.
He did warn us about his ego,
Yeah.
Mm.
Kneel, peasants.
He's still got to go and deliver post, so he'll be humbled by
He
not
still
being
lives
a
in
king
Wales, so,
who can just
Yeah.
have
Getting up in a
grapes fed into his mouth.
No, thank you very much.
Um,
It is nice to share.
Very cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
play that.
but by the way, we'll do a quick review of the stuff that's in the Discord shortly. But I'd like to encourage people who are listening to put comments underneath, sharing what you liked about different people's submissions, encouraging the people who've taken part. And if you're interested in this happening again, then let me know here or in the Discord, because I think it would be a great thing to do again. I think we've all got a lot out of it from taking part. But I've also got a lot out of it from listening to and seeing everybody else's submissions. So yeah, it'd be great to know if people would like this to happen again. All right.
That's the amazing thing about the prompt is how diverse the answers are. It's so cool to see how everyone's brains work a little bit differently. Well,
Yeah. From sort of high octane, sort of in your face pop from me and Max, the kind of the kind of current sound, the modern thing, to a very I'd say Moyoho. I mean, that is kind of best of classic British songwriting. I'd say that is a masterpiece of
Oh, stop.
Okay,
well, look, we already know the danger of me keeping saying things to you. So, and two, I think one of the most beautifully crafted and wonderfully constructed pieces of kind of gentle, soulful songwriting and orchestral work from Beck and from Philip. I mean, your illustrations, you know how much of a fan I am of you, and just knocking it out of the park as always with an early submission as well. So here we all are, bringing our best, and I hope also that part of what's happening is that we read these passages of scripture, and it's a gift from God, and we resonate with something that's in the text. There's some truth there. There's something praiseworthy that we learn about God. There's something that we just feel deep in our soul. And then he's also given us these creative gifts as a way to turn that back as an expression, partly to him directly and partly to share with other people, so they can then turn it into, God loves for us to speak to him, and I think that can be more than just words. Like, we think of prayer as being just verbal, but I actually think God loves us to turn all manner of media that we, that he's filled the world with so many forms of expressive communication that we can enjoy and revel in, and there's something just wonderful about a Christian community enjoying those things.
I think, if one thinks about vocation, that, and I find that very important, like in every aspect of life, or in every moment, you've got a role to play. And I also think art, especially in our current time, like if you look at mainstream media art stuff, like the mainstream movies and music and things like that, often they don't feel like they've got as much heart as they maybe once did, or as other stories have. And I also think it's nice to have this kind of experience, because there's a lot of heart behind it. It's not as much for show as it is as it is born out of passion in a sense. And that vocation of an artist in its various forms, I think, is also important.
One of the things that I know that my family was talking about in our semi-recent visit to the UK as well is, it's amazing how the biggest reminder of history is art. Like, as we're walking around museums and, these glorious estate homes and walking around the city and stuff, at the end of the day, it was people's creativity and art that stood the test of time, and everything else is really forgotten a lot of the time and sort of washed away. So it was actually, it was a really beautiful reminder of how important it obviously is to the human spirit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Churches,
Well said.
there's so many churches in every city in the UK, and they're often really well designed. And
even architecturally, like, that's art in itself, like the sort of beautiful artistry. Certainly not like today's brutalist buildings everywhere. Though it's still saying something, it's just saying something different.
It's not saying beauty, it's saying like,
capitalism.
I hate you.
Well, kind of that. Like,
or maybe brutalism was kind of a cry of pain in the aftermath of the world wars, in a way.
It came out of Russia, didn't it?
A little bit.
Maybe that's it. We need Pharaoh to mediate this discussion about architecture.
Sort of
I thought it came out of
a desire to, very utilitarian rather than spiritual. Because
I feel like it sort of reflects greed in a way, or like the increasing, maybe not, but
I'd say when you stop believing in God and you don't believe in there being any kind of spiritual realm, I think beauty becomes irrelevant to life, because it doesn't fit in your rationalist framework of like economics or social hierarchy or whatever it is, so
doesn't make money to spend money to make something beautiful if you don't believe there's a purpose to doing so.
Yeah, which is ironic, because the music industry is worth, billions of dollars, and yet that is just art, right? So people, same with Hollywood. So Hollywood also like a massive industry, but it's just people doing things on camera. So it's like art, isn't it? So art is still really popular, and makes a lot of money, but it's like it doesn't make any rational sense, really. It's more of a
it doesn't fulfill people the way that it maybe used to, which is why everything sort of feels like serial media these days.
Well,
Like eating cardboard rather than
both pop music and Hollywood, they just copy what's already successful most of the time, and a lot of the time it works, but it also leads to that kind of stagnation in a way, which Yeah.
Which is ironically the story of Jesus that's often just mimicked. I know we've gotten off topic.
Huh.
We're talking about movies now, but
Wait, so again?
For the next creative festival, I want somebody to make a full 90-minute movie, and we will sit and watch
we'll let
it.
you win if you do it. Put it that way.
2 minutes worth of commentary afterwards. Yeah,
Okay.
I joke, but I'm probably the person most likely to just go and do that.
I was about to say, isn't
Oh,
it?
it sounds like Matt might give you a run for his money. He's
I want
filming
to do
things.
like
here's the-
a 90-minute musical.
Whoa! Yes,
like,
I'd like to
every
do this.
song tells a story, you know.
Wow.
Like imagine Hamilton, the Jesus
Mhm.
version of Hamilton.
Yeah, I think it's
Somebody
called
must be
Jesus
working on
Christ
that.
Superstar.
Oh yeah, Andrew Lloyd Webber got there first.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Not that I've watched it, but I'm assuming that's what it's about.
Me neither.
Shall I read this this submission, this poem? This
Yeah.
was submitted as maybe just a draft. I don't know, but I don't think there's been an update. So I'm considering this. Skype or Slack would have been better's entry for the Creative Festival. And I think is it called Prompt One? What do we think? Maybe.
well,
I think he's just referencing which one he chose.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. So this is in reference to the Song of Songs. Is that right? Yeah, the love song option. There we go. Okay. Thanks for helping me clarify that. And it goes.
could you sing it, Luke?
I'd hate to add my own creative interpretation on
Oh,
top
fair.
of somebody else's work without their permission, you know.
That's a good point.
I'm in so many ways an outlier. Inside me, sometimes does burn a brilliant fire. I'm stoked to meet you and hope to set alight your own raging desire. When we met, future variance was sealed. What will be has been revealed. Perfectly suited together are we two. I'm glad I'll get to know you. Nascent dreams take forever, it seems. Endure tranquility for me. Begging forgiveness, I worry foolishly. All the best, star of my heart. The Lord bless you and keep you while we are apart. Wow,
I like
that's
that.
so tenderly written. I don't know how you can call that just a draft, because you wouldn't want to change a word, would you?
It's beautiful. Nascent, by the way, because I definitely did just have to Google that word, is just coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential. For anyone who's not.
Nascent dreams take forever, it seems. Yeah. I feel like there's
It's
lots of
very-
words beginning with nace that are to do with birth. Maybe.
Oh, nascent is like
Potential.
becoming born in a way.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
But it's
And-
very,
and I-
like it's
Go on.
it fits very. So I don't know if that's the rhythm, because it's a freeform poem clearly, but it fits so perfectly. I mean, you read it quite naturally now, and there's no. It doesn't feel like anything is forced.
It's
or out
not
of
T-tum,
place.
T-tum, T-tum, is it?
Mm.
Yeah, and well, I mean, some of those sound pretty good as well. Like the words that he
True.
used, like, if it's you have to be good at it. But like this is
Yeah.
freeform, and everything feels like it fits perfectly, which is nice because it's almost like looking at a tree where you can see everything is in its proper place, but it's very like
Mm.
natural. And
I like the vulnerability of it. There's a real kind of self-consciousness of the writer, I feel. It's kind of on this uncertain edge of not knowing the future, but being excited for potential. Yeah,
Yeah.
great work. I think more poems, please, for if we do this again. That was
Yeah.
great.
I love poems.
We should do collaborations between the musicians and the poets and the
Yeah.
writers.
Yeah.
We could do
Great.
several waves.
Listen to
We
my
could do a
lyrics.
creative
These are
festival,
good.
like just poems, and then just songs, and then
Mm.
just music videos or something. This is a submission for Blessed are the Poor in Spirit, for theirs is the Kingdom of Heaven. Soul 118 has been a very prolific and excellent creator in the Discord, and has this really unique and interesting style of combining into images from various sources. They could be video games or found images, or I don't know the whole process, but yeah, blessed are the poor of spirit. I feel like this is often the experience that you have in art galleries, like when it's good, interesting art, and you have to sort of stand and scratch your chin and think about how the piece
It looks
reflects
like when you
the
need
time.
to. It looks like when you need to describe a dream you had, doesn't it?
Mm.
Just impossible to describe.
You could look at it for half an hour and just let your eye wander all around.
And find things in it. So this, I feel like, is a bearded guy at the bottom. Is that? Are other
Yeah, and
people
he's
seeing
holding
that?
out his
same as me?
hands. Yeah.
It looks like a cat.
Yeah, and they're in the
with
hands. Yeah, holding them up like this, right?
It definitely feels
Yeah.
like that urban sort of maybe lower socioeconomic, perhaps.
This
and
kind of
it's-
graffiti. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort
Is
of
that
there.
yellow thing the
hands raised.
spirit?
Mm.
Kind of feels like it's golden, right? So
Yeah,
we've got
so
the poor holding out the hands, but the kingdom of heaven above, maybe.
Sort of the richness of the kingdom of heaven.
Mm.
Yeah. Like the
Yeah.
poverty
like
of this
treasures in
character
heaven.
is connected up to their
Mm.
inheritance in heaven.
It's like a tree of life emerging from the Jesus figure, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mustard seed.
Maybe in kind of retrospective reference to Philip's tree in his piece as well.
It's all connected. Yeah.
Energy, as
Mhm.
Luke likes to say.
The tree of life.
Well, now that I've noticed the posting order, I'm thinking yours was actually quite derivative, really.
Yeah, bugger. Caught me. Yeah, I didn't know how to replace the graffiti. That was the.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about graffiti. Actually, it's very fascinating. So that stood out to me, and I also connected it with the poor in spirit. That
Was this also a submission for the Creative Festival, Philip?
no, that was me trolling.
Yeah, okay. Clearly.
All right.
This should
Very artistic
be
song.
like the internet go-to image to post when people troll. I'd love
We
that
use
to
it
be
as an
real.
accusatory. If somebody's just talking rubbish, we can just post that and be like, "You're trolling right now."
He's a cool-looking creature. I want to
is very
fight him
cool.
in a video game.
Yeah.
If I ever write a fantasy story, then I'm getting you to illustrate it for me.
Oh,
Who illustrated your card game, Luke?
Pharaoh,
thought so.
my yes, fellow board game at arms. No, that's not a thing, is it?
Can be.
Is this? Hang on. Are we just looking at everything in this channel because nobody remembered to use the hashtag that I clearly mentioned in the pinned message? Look, there
No.
it is. Everybody who
Yeah.
couldn't find where it was.
I think this one was just a post, and she said she might
Right,
do something
skip.
for the challenge later.
Skip. Skip. Oh, this one's a sneak peek, but we've heard the real thing. You know, this is like the angels desiring to see a clue about what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
And
that was
now
like
we-
30 iterations ago, anyway.
Is that your full lyrics, though?
They're actually old lyrics as well.
Yeah.
The
There you
second
go.
verse is completely
I think there's
different.
more
This
than
is
that.
exciting. When your song makes it big, people will come back to this stream and look at these clues to your
Yeah.
process.
When I hit those 200 views.
Now, look, Overseer posted earlier in the chat saying that he wanted to do a mask, and here is the evidence of said mask. I think the fact that he was able to make a physical mask weeks before any of us were able to make a simple song is, a testament to our lack
Very
of
impressive.
productivity. But it's very cool, isn't it?
Theorize which prompt it sits with. What are our ideas?
Well, we'd have to ask him, I think. Also, there is brickwork almost identical to this in my parents' house, so it's a bit spooky that he may have broken in and taken the pictures in a place that I know well.
He's got
So
no
excellent
mouth,
work.
which I suspect is symbolic or something.
Is a clue. Interesting. Well, if anyone in chat has a strong idea of which prompt that is, or anybody on the stream, but
Well, maybe
I just think it's awesome.
Maybe it's because he's called overseer, that he's like,
Mhm.
maybe it's not overseer in the sense of a bishop, but in the sense of seeing too much. And maybe that's symbolically.
Ooh,
This is my fake
overseer.
attempt at trying to. I'm interpreting.
You think his whole account led up to this one moment? Maybe so. Pumpkin Smasher giving us a work in progress shot. I think some very aesthetic and exciting looking materials. We'll see if anything comes from this. Uncephalized. Now, again, we're all very familiar in the Discord with Uncephalized's unparalleled handiwork. So, again, probably not anything to do with the Creative Festival, so I couldn't resist sharing that. Again, don't know if these are for the Creative Festival, so let's keep going. And is this for the Creative Festival? What do we think? Shall I read it?
I'm curious. Sure.
Okay, settle in, everybody. I'll settle back into my reading voice. The gears of progress must turn, marching towards the only end. Grease them with blood. Grind young minds into fuel, so the ever-present soul furnaces can burn 24/7, forging the only future. Build the skyscrapers, turn the night grey, harpoon the stars, harness their power. Not an atom goes to waste. Conquer our space, bring reality to heal. All this for 1% more. 99 is not enough. Feed the gluttonous machine, according to the eternal decree, in exchange for a false immortality. So close to an infinity, we'll never.
Wow.
So, well, I don't think that it's actually a submission.
Submission.
It suits prompts.
Still was worth hearing.
We're having too much fun with that one, I think.
But it suits the Matthew 5 passage quite well, actually. I thought at first maybe it's an attempt to capture the spirit of the Song of Songs.
Huh.
But not
Explain.
really.
I mean, let me think about that.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, look,
it
Pumpkin
seems a little
Smasher's
bit
back.
like from he who has everything, more will be given in a way,
Mm.
from Matthew.
Oh yes, look. Here's a reminder to get your orders in by emailing gauntlet@theboardgame.com.
I've not heard of your
what-
board game, Luke. You haven't told me about it yet.
Oh yeah, well I could show you a copy in person before we're all
Yeah, I'd
sold
love
out.
to.
Gauntlettheboardgame@gmail.com.
Have to order some.
Or if
for
you
my-
know me personally, you
my
can
family.
talk to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a fun little shoot day last weekend.
Wow.
I think. Oh yes,
I
here we go. Pumpkin Smasher has completed this.
So is this a quilt?
I believe this is a quilt.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Are they
it
pomegranates?
does look
Is it what you see?
awesome. It also looks like a lot of work. All these little
It
pieces.
really does.
So, I mean, exceptional. The amount that we can see. She says that this is all I've got. So, I wonder if just 1 millimeter beyond the edge of the camera, and it all unravels and falls apart. So hopefully the fact that the Creative Festival is finished means that this piece doesn't remain forever unfinished, because it looks like a triumph.
She said all the pairings were purposeful. What?
Oh, well, sadly,
got Love
she's
Hearts?
offered. I hope that she's having a good time on day one of her new job. And it was probably the right decision to go to that rather than joining this stream. 50-50. But yeah.
What's that pairings linked to the Beatitudes?
I think this was songs. This one. So you've got some the Love Hearts and looks like cherries, but it may have been sort of like all their fruit imagery, I suppose.
I've not read the Summer Psalms.
I don't know why I didn't think of zooming in before, but yeah, this is amazing. Yes, I feel like we should go and pick apart exactly what all these references are. But it sounds like, Beck, you've already figured it all out.
The apple and the hearts, like loving.
Well, there's climbing up a tree and seizing the fruits, isn't there, in one bit? There's that's amazing.
And the brown could symbolize the tree.
I think
maybe it's all just based on that one verse.
And I think the protagonist's, like the lady's skin was dark.
Dark but beautiful.
He was talking about, yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be it. Plus, they're like looking for each other are they looking for each other in like a vineyard at one point? So I feel like these like are little glimpses. This is probably not the intention, but to me it feels like you're looking out between branches to try and see what's through, and then you see all these little like pictures, which is just like what it feels like reading Song of Songs. You get all this pictorial stuff.
It kind of looks
great
like
submission.
Like how the sun just casts shadows through leaves on a tree with that kind of little pointed little light beams. Yeah.
Well, I think that brings us to the end. Was there? Was there?
There's a baby Jesus. I don't know if it was a submission or not.
I don't know
well,
either.
that's Christmas themed, so I don't know if that's...
Well, look, it was going to be a very clear system where everybody tags the stuff that was intended to be, and then I could just put in the hashtag in the search box and we could go through it. But I think it was only one person who actually remembered to do that. So, Christmas decoration. Now, we were thinking if we'd have got our act together, we were possibly going to do a second Christmas creative festival, for which this would have been perfect. But sadly, we were too ambitious.
There's still time. We have
that's true.
12 days.
Yeah, and we could extend the end of the festival to be the end of what is it? 12 days, 13 days after Christmas.
Or we could do it on the 25th.
We could declare a one-day festival.
Well, there's a
given that most of us managed to do our work mostly in 24 hours.
Just give me a tight deadline at this point.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, 2 weeks
well,
is
so
time to. Yeah,
I propose that I should just declare a winner for the Creative Festival, and I'm not even asking for your opinions on whether that's a good idea or not, because I'm in charge. Has the power gone to my head? I see no evidence of that. So Matt, I'm going to say you win the non-competitive creative festival this time. Very well done. Well deserved.
Well done.
Excellent.
Thank you for everybody for your submissions, and thank you everybody for watching. I'm just going to go quickly around the panel and see if there's any last thoughts or last things you want to point people to. For example, Matt, let's remind people that they can go and subscribe to your channel, Moyoho. Search for that.
Yeah, Moyoho, that's right. Thank you.
And would you like to make a brief speech as the winner of the Creative Festival?
I don't know. It might
What you're
get my
supposed
head
to say is
going.
thank you to all my competitors.
Oh
and-
yes. Kneel, peasants.
No, you've
I
done
see
it.
I've set a good example.
No, it's. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to flex the creative muscles and to be involved in this community you've created, Luke. It's a great little gaggle. That's a great idea. Lovely submissions. Really good energy.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, my absolute pleasure. Max, any last thoughts?
Yeah, just lots of really great artistic, creative things happening. So it's really great to hear and see all of them, both visually and audiologically, whatever that word is.
That's right.
Musically and visually. Yeah, also amazing. So
And thank you for helping out with my submission as well. I absolutely wouldn't have had time to do it by myself. So
yeah,
and nor would it have been anywhere near
it's
as
been
good.
a pleasure.
So, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Beck, any last thoughts?
I suppose my only last thought would be for anybody who wasn't brave enough to post theirs, I'd just encourage you to put it out there. This is a super loving group of people, and yeah, it's actually just it's a really good practice to practice that feeling of just like letting go of sort of how to say, maybe not your ego, but yeah, just being brave and like letting go of the control that like self-doubt has on you. Putting something out
You
there.
might have noticed we mostly said positive things during the stream. That's because the quality was very high. If you post something that's not good, we will rip it to shreds mercilessly.
Eviscerate
And
it.
make sure you don't pollute the world with your further creativity. No, I'm
And
joking.
if you're not someone who's creative, then I'd encourage you to pick up a pen or pick up a guitar. It's never too late to stop. And yeah, it's a beautiful experience to sort of express yourself creatively. I know we've got metal workers and all sorts of things in the Discord, so I'd love to see some cool things. And yeah, we could do could do sort of themes, like if we do it again around Easter time, that might be a nice time to do another theme or things like that.
Do an Easter themed song about
So, yeah,
the death
put
of
yourself
Jesus.
out there.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Cook a meal.
Philip.
That count as creativity. If you show us a fantastically put together meal, I'd be impressed as well. So
That's a good idea.
Food
I mean,
art.
extra points if you know, if I can give it a taste and give it a review in person.
I mean, if you find a way to represent the Beatitudes in food, I would be very, very impressed. So
Yes, and not visually. I don't want to see a mashed potato sculpture of
I've got one.
purely through taste and smell.
I've got
An
blessed
empty
are the
plate
hungry.
would have,
Oh yeah,
an empty plate would be the hungry. Like,
Yeah, that's good.
an empty plate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good
You're not
points.
going to win the festival if it's an empty plate.
we'll sit here for half an hour discussing what it could possibly mean.
Yeah, which I could certainly do. Philip, any last thoughts?
Yeah, that thought of vocation. So I had a talk with a guy called Johnny Law on my channel recently, and he emphasized the fact that he thinks the world needs more storytellers that have a story to tell and not an idea to sell. Which I mean, we addressed that a bit with the whole Hollywood question here, I think, as well. And I think that that sort of creating art for the sake of your own. Well, I think if you're creative, you're trying to explore something or whatever, just doing it from the heart in a sense, I think that is actually very important. And I think often in our world where things are thought of in a very utilitarian way, it's really important to do that, to pick up a pen or whatever and get started. If you've got the creative impulse, I mean, don't force yourself to do anything, but if you've got that, then work at it and look to be torn to shreds by Luke, because it only goes uphill from there.
Well, I've
If you're
heard
lying on the
people say
ground-
if you're say you want to get good at sketches, everyone's got 1,000 terrible sketches in them that they need to get out, and they need to just like get them out. Don't worry that they're bad. That's part of how you dig down through those sketches to find the good ones that you also have hidden inside you. So if anybody is feeling like oh, I'm not a creative person. Whenever I've tried to be creative, what I make is just dissatisfying. I'd encourage you to persevere, because the reward of getting good at something creative, it really is worth it. And everybody has the experience of being terrible. In fact, the issue, there's a really interesting talk by Ira Glass talking about this, that the issue is when you start creating something, you're learning your craft. The reason that you started is because your taste is up here. You've got like decent taste. You can tell when something's good or it's not, but your ability is still down here. So you're never going to meet your own quality standards to begin with. That's just inevitable. But you should try to learn how to embrace the improvement, the feeling like you're making progress, rather than obsessing over the objective quality level that you're at. But yes, everybody should also, I mean, I hope everybody has already, but if not, go and find Philip's channel. We did a really interesting conversation the other day. So if you want the latest on where Ascension is at, that's
Where
on
is
Philip's
Ascension at?
channel. Yeah, it's quite, well, look, you're going to have to go and subscribe to Philippocrat. Are you the top
But it's
search
the
result?
Roots of Day at the moment.
Oh, sorry, you've
Well,
renamed your channel.
Yeah. Well,
Is
it's
that
a
musical?
Roots
Roots
of
of
Day.
Day.
What's it called now, Phil?
The Roots of Day. That's
Or
it's more.
you could also join the Discord, and then there's you've posted links in the Discord. So, so yes, we have a share channel in the Discord, and various people who have other interesting things going on the internet use that to share what they're up to. I do encourage people to join the Discord. You know, if you're happy just subscribing to the YouTube, then more power to you. But you are missing out on at least half of the experience of Lambda Bible Studies. But if all you're doing is watching the YouTube, why not? What I've been doing recently on some channels that I don't want to miss any updates for, hit the little bell button, get a notification. Especially if it's a channel that's not so regular with the uploads, mentioning no names. You know, if you feel like catching one of these streams is adding something to your life, and I hope that we're providing more than entertainment. I think we, everybody who contributes to this channel is keen to bring bits of God's word and in an entertaining and fun way, can like inject them into your life. So if that seems like something worthwhile, then why not try hitting the bell? All right, I'd say we call it there. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll probably have a Christmas party stream next week, so be on the lookout for that. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Brilliant.